Case study: Caunce vs. Caunce 1969. Introduction. Caunce v. Caunce 1969 stands as a significant, albeit controversial, case in English property law. It grappled with the rights of a wife who contributed financially to a matrimonial home, but lacked legal ownership due to outdated legal principles. This case study delves into the facts, legal issues, the court's decision, and the lasting impact, including its eventual overturning. Fact of the case: Mr. and Mrs. Caunce, a married couple, jointly contributed towards purchasing a property intended as their family home. Although the agreement was for joint ownership, the property, unregistered land, was placed solely in the husband's name. The wife expected the mortgage to be in her name, signifying joint ownership. However, unbeknownst to her, the husband secured the sole legal title and subsequently placed charges on the property without her knowledge or consent. When the husband attempted to sell the property without informing his wife, a legal battle ensued. The wife sought to prevent the sale, arguing two main points. Doctrine of notice: despite lacking legal title, she had sufficient rights in the property to invoke the doctrine of notice. This doctrine protects someone with an interest in land from a purchaser who fails to make reasonable inquiries about potential beneficiaries. Overriding interests: her occupation of the property constituted an overriding interest under the Law of Property Act 1925. This act protects certain interests in land, even if unregistered, such as those arising from occupation. A controversial decision. The court's decision in Caunce v. Caunce was far from clear-cut, particularly regarding the wife's claim to ownership. Notice: the court initially ruled against the wife on the issue of notice. Their reasoning hinged on the archaic principle of marital law that viewed the husband as the head of the household, implying he had the authority to act on his wife's behalf regarding the property. This approach denied the wife any independent rights to the marital home despite her financial contribution. Overriding interests. The court did not definitively address the wife's claim of an overriding interest under the Law of Property Act 1925. This left the question of her rights based on occupation unanswered. A flawed precedent, and its legacy. The court's reasoning on the notice issue was demonstrably flawed. It perpetuated the notion of a wife's subordinate position in a marriage, a concept later deemed incompatible with evolving views on marital equality. Despite its shortcomings, Caunce v. Caunce holds a certain significance. Reinforcing notice. Although the notice aspect was overturned, the case initially served as a reminder of the importance of the doctrine of notice in property law. It emphasizes the responsibility of purchasers to investigate potential interests in the land they intend to buy. Highlighting inequality. The case exposed the glaring inequality in the legal framework regarding married women's property rights at the time. It sparked discussions about the need for a more balanced approach to property ownership within marriage. Paving the way for change, later landmark cases like Williams and Glensbank v. Bollard 1980 and King's North Finance v. Tizard 1986 address the limitations of Caunce v. Caunce. These subsequent rulings established a more equitable approach to married couples' property ownership, recognizing the wife's independent rights. Conclusion. In conclusion, Caunce v. Caunce 1969 stands as a testament to the evolution of marital property rights in English law. While the court's initial decision on notice perpetuated outdated gender norms, the case ultimately served as a catalyst for change. It exposed the legal inequalities faced by married women and sparked discussions that led to landmark cases, establishing a more equitable framework for property ownership within marriage. Today, Caunce v. Caunce serves as a reminder of the importance of continually re-evaluating legal principles to ensure they reflect the changing social landscape. If you are a law student and looking for more case studies, visit our website www.mylawtutor.net.